This week we stayed at Irish Canyon, first starting off at the BLM campground and then later on in the week moving towards or into actual BLM ground. Irish Canyon is an area of critical environmental concern, or an ACEC, due to its unique geology, scenery, plant species, and petroglyphs. 12 of the 22 geological formations in the eastern end of the Unta Mountains can be found here. We searched during our time here to find more examples of the Fremont petroglyphs. However, we were only able to find 2 walls. So this is campsite number 2. We moved camp this afternoon when Drew got off work. We were in the BLM campground.
Yeah, it was like a had 6 or 7 spots in it, had a pit toilet and fire rings and tables, so it was a decent little free campground. But it was down by the road and it had a lot of traffic, so
It did.
we found this little spot hidden behind this little rock ridge behind Kelly right now.
Yep.
And it's pretty epic.
So we're probably, 5 minutes maybe from the campground?
That's the view out of the office.
Yeah, so that's the view. That is the dinette, aka the office. And that's Irish Canyon. So we just came just outside of Irish Canyon, still in BLM land. Another advantage to this site is there's a place to walk Ella. There really wasn't a place other than the circle that the campground was built on. The road, even though it's a Forest Service road, way too busy.
Oh yeah, people flew through there like 50 miles an hour down a gravel road all day.
So it's, this is much more agreeable. It's very similar as far as the feel to the last couple places we've camped. I think I really enjoy, personally, camping on BLM land. It's quite nice. So we're gonna go for our first walk of the evening and see what there is to see. Hopefully Ella doesn't find too many deer legs. Looks kind of stormy.
Go. We're almost to the top. Ella. Okay, there you are. Slow down. There's always another.
I was gonna say false summit.
Yeah. You ready to go up that way?
I'm good.
Where's your sense of adventure? So that little dirt track down there was our route into this little valley. You can see that wall that is lit up there in the distance. That is the last big wall of Irish Canyon, where we were camped for the past 2 nights. And we decided that we wanted to come out here and see what this big meadow was like. It is pretty stunning in the evening light. What do you think, Kelly?
I think it's really pretty. And so far, I like it. See how it looks. See how much wildlife we have.
I think we might have some wildlife. Oh, take you up later.
We ended up not seeing a ton of wildlife near camp. There were signs of life, but the only things we really saw were pronghorn legs and parts while exploring. Oh, and lots of cows on our way to try and hike Vermilion Canyon.
Well, I see where the road goes now. I knew it got up to the top of that ridge somehow. But I don't know if I want to walk up that big sandy hill tonight, so that might be a tomorrow kind of thing. I'm kind of running low on daylight here. So the sun is already set behind that hillside. So, went up to the top. This is an amazing view. But I think the downhill is even less pleasant than the uphill. The uphill is one of those uphills, at the very end anyways, where you're almost better off being on all fours, but not quite. So it's that like uncomfortable space in between. Like, you're not really scrambling, but it's pretty close to it. And now I'm working my way down, trying not to end up going 1,000 miles per hour or falling on my butt. Because I didn't mention this, but the ground is also extremely loose. So, not the best trail to follow. But man, those views. Have to stay over in the either the edges or the center, because some sort of ATV type side-by-side something has been playing on this hill, and it's just turned the soil into sand. It's super loose. We're nearly back at this point. This hill is kind of steep and kind of loose, but it's the last of that. It's not nearly as bad as the stuff there at the top. This is the last time it's all flat from here. Wish I had started a little earlier in the evening, because I would have loved to have crested the summit up there and actually looked down over the other side. I just got up to the top. It was kind of a false summit, and I'm losing daylight. But maybe tomorrow. And did have some other important things to do today. Greased the bearings and the axle. Did some other chores around camp. I did also find a really cool piece of flint. It looks like it's been worked to be a scraper. It's got like a palm and a thumb indentation. Right over by a rock outcropping next to our camper.
We really enjoyed our time at Irish Canyon. We did have an interesting experience on the way into the canyon. In the northwestern part of Colorado, we experienced Mormon crickets.
That was a wild experience for sure. I've never seen any sort of insects cover the road in such a way that you can't actually see the asphalt anymore.
Yeah, it was insane.
We did also have one sort of failure along the way. We really wanted to hike Vermilion Canyon, the trail we found on All Trails, and it seemed like many people couldn't find it, and we couldn't either. The road ended at the river. This was our last week in Colorado for a little while, so next week we'll see you in Wyoming.